Okay, let's take a look. Just going to isolate. Well, the first thing I wanted to say actually is, for this class, I teach just using the first tile, the 0 to 1 tile, and I see that you have a multiple tile setup, which is fine, but it's not how the subsequent lessons are taught. So, um, you may need to, if you don't already know how to use a multiple tile setup, you may need to look up tutorials, or I can help find you some information on that. It's certainly a valid way to work. It's just not how I built the class. So if you're comfortable with it, totally fine. Um, and yeah, let's take a look at this. I think yeah, most of this looks pretty good. I believe I mentioned there's some pretty big stretching here. It's a little bit harder to tell with the color feedback because the head is big relative to the rest of the body, but you can see in the checkers there. Where is... So that neck is all part of the head. I would typically cut the neck off as a separate shell. Maybe around there. Just hide this so that's more. Maybe along the bottom of the hairline here. So you already have a cut here, so we're kind of halfway there, and then I would just split it somewhere like down the back of the neck. Oh, and you already have a cut right here too. So we were a good bit of the way there, but so I would take this shell and let's just compare. So look at the checkers now and see how stretched and distorted those are, and let's unfold that, and they look a lot less distorted to me now. So I would do that. I think I mentioned before that the geometry here is not so great. It's extremely stretched out here, so you shouldn't just pull points super far like that. That's not good, and as a result you're getting extremely stretched textures there too. So I think the thing here is to add enough geometry. Rather than just pulling a point, you should extrude, 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 so that there's a reasonably even topology. And by even topology, I mean that the faces, are a little bit more square and a little bit more even sized. You can see how these are extremely long and narrow faces, and that is not good. So you're going to want to even out the topology there, and I think I talked about that in a previous module. Yeah, but most of this is looking good. Hand texture looks good. I don't see any other problem areas except for the hair and the neck. And the hair, you should fix the geometry before you fix the UV mount. Let's just look at the rest of the stuff here. The side here is looking pretty stretched. Not sure why. Just try unfolding that again. Yeah, and then it's easy enough to fix. What else do we look at? This again. You can these should all be square. What does that look like? Whoa, that doesn't look like it's been unfolded. Let's see what happens when we unfold. No, not so great. I think there's something not so great about the way this has been cut up. Well, certainly I would cut off the top. Let me just from the rest of it. I'm just gonna do Shift X and then the bottom. And you do have one cut in the side, although these I would say you do not need. So I'll kind of move and sew those and these. Move and sew, put those back there. So I have the top. Okay, you do have one cut here, which is all we would need. So yeah, we have the top, the bottom, and the side with one cut in it. Now let's try unfolding that. Control U, Control L. And let's take a look at the checkers now. Okay, not perfect. Still a little stretched in some parts here, but I think better than it was. And certainly the top and bottom look good. Sides a little stretched. What you can do is take this and, I could manually adjust that so that they're square, like so. And that's mostly better. Yeah, it looks okay. Again, a little stretched along the top here, so you might want to cut around the front. Are these two separate objects? Yeah, I would deal with each of these individually instead of as one. Sort of looks like the default UV map actually for this object. If it started as a cube, let me see if I unfold that again. See, that's already much better. I just did Control U on that, and that's much better. The shoes I saw could use some work. There's some pretty distorted areas here. I would definitely, I'd probably cut from here to here. Just do Shift X. I mean, let's just look at where we're at with this right now. Yeah, I mean, it's all one big connected thing, and I would tend to have a few more cuts, seeing how distorted this side is in particular. And I mean, I guess I'm wondering if I could actually maybe I'll undo that one, and I might even move and sew these guys and then cut higher up. I'm just going to get rid of the checkers for a minute here. Okay. Oop, that didn't work very well. Okay, that worked. Shift X. And then I was thinking like, oh yeah, I would probably complete this in the back here. Yeah, that might as well go all the way around. Shift X. And I'd probably do something like this. And this. We could probably use those ones in front. You already have these things in back, so just click here and double click there to remove all of those. The same on this side. Okay. Again, Shift X. Okay. And might need one more in the back there. Probably along the top here at least. Shift X. And I bet I'm going to need another one here, honestly. I mean, we won't even see that seam. Anyway, so, I mean, we can see where we're at right now. Yeah, still pretty distorted on the side here. But better, but still distorted. And that I can almost just manually adjust. Get that square. So maybe you do some manual adjustments as well. Anyway, yeah, a few more cuts on there. So yeah, a few areas to fix, and then I mentioned the geometry on the hair. Definitely want to fix that. And yeah, again, like I said, these subsequent lessons do not use a multiple tile setup, so you can't follow them exactly as done. So if you need help with the multiple tile thing, let me know.